Hello and welcome to Reiki Women Podcasts. It's Bronwen Logan here. And today I have with me, as you can see, the lovely Maria Kammerer. I hope I said that right. I never know how to say your surname, Maria. Kammerer?
It's more, the way that you say everything, Bronwen, is so beautiful. It's fine.
Now you can see why Maria's here, because she's a flatterer and she's got the best dimples. I said to her, I put in a little something in my hair just so I could try to look halfway near as beautiful as she always does. So anyway, welcome, Maria. Maria's in Cincinnati, for those who don't know Maria, and she has a Reiki practice there. She's a practitioner and a teacher for Attune Cincinnati. And today she's going to talk to us about navigating the pressures of this wonderful life and doing so with the system of Reiki. And you know, I'm going to just hand it over to you, Maria. I'm sure you've got lots of amazing, wonderful stories to tell us.
Oh, thanks, Bronwen. Thanks for having me here. And hopefully I have something good to share with you, but you know, that's life.
No pressure, right? But I do like that thing that, you know, even people who don't think they've got a story, you know, everybody's got a story thing. And I think that's so true. Yeah. So, but I know you have lots of stories. So
I do love stories, but yeah, and I think we all have wisdom to share. And I'm so excited about your project, Women Reiki Podcast. I think it's beautiful. So thanks for having me a part of it. So yeah, I think, you know, what really drew me to Reiki was just, you know, I felt like there had to be a different way of living. You know, I'd found Reiki when I was super burnt out, and I think I was confused about everything, you know, like, you know, what was my role in my life and how to be a good person and how to be a woman and a mother and all of those things. And I felt pretty, just confused about that. And just remembering that, kind of thinking back on that state of being, it's kind of like being so muddled, you know, and how do you find a way through that? Or, you know, so I just felt like there was another way to live our life. And thank goodness I found the system of Reiki, because it brought so much clarity in me, in my own mind, in my own heart, and into my life. And I'm super grateful for that. And I think, you know, it's all of the precepts, you know, learning how to really live in the moment and to let go of our worry and our fear and just all of that. I think that muddledness, that confusion, you know, it starts to clear up. And then, you know, it's like, I felt like all of the things that I was expected to be in the world, you know, all of the labels I had put on myself, I could kind of see that a little more, because sometimes it felt like maybe I wasn't even aware of, you know, all the pressure, you know, we put on ourselves and the world puts on us, and, you know, how we fit into that. So all of those things, I could see those things and kind of with that energy or that clarity, kind of redefine who I am. And I felt like I could be, I think over time, right, start to clear things. But I think for the first time, I felt so, you know, through the system of Reiki and that daily practice, so empowered as a person, as a woman, as a mother. And I feel that's so needed, you know, in the world. And I felt empowered to be able to let go of and transform all of my stuff, whatever it was, and the millions of pressures and things, but slowly starting to transform those things into, I don't know, I guess into freedom, openness, gratitude.
Yeah.
compassion, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure it's all, but it's like I felt that empowerment, that strength. And I've never felt that before the system of Reiki, right? I mean, to be able to, in some way, to become more whole is so great in the world, you know? Anyway, so that has been so good for me. And as a woman, I think being empowered, it means for me, I can have that freedom, that flexibility to let go of all the labels I want to, and maybe claim some that I want or redefine that. I feel so much more flexible in how I show up in this moment or today or in my life. I don't have to be the idea of myself or what it is to be a woman or a mother or a business owner, whatever it is, and so I'm grateful for that, because it also shows me too, in a way, it's like my gratitude first was like a practice of, I wrote down like, I'm so grateful for,
Yep.
my socks and my dogs, and which was so helpful, my kids and all those things. And that was helpful because it helped me to focus more on, what is here in the moment, and to see that instead of all of the other habits of worry and complaining and whatnot. But that gratitude changed into not just these little, these things, but, being grateful for everything, being grateful for the bad things that have happened to me, the good things that have happened to me, the boring times, and I kind of think, wow, that's so exciting too, because I can be who I am and I can keep changing. I can keep changing, just like this gratitude is going to change, and my sense of gratitude, or how that might change, that's going to keep expanding and changing in my life. And who knows what's going to happen? I mean, or you could say the same thing about compassion. Compassion, started off really small. I didn't have any compassion for myself as a woman, right? I'd gone through a lot of stuff early on in my life, and I had no compassion. I was so judgmental about myself, so hard on myself. I was never mean to everybody else. Well, maybe not never. I'm sure I was. But, right? And then we become so much kinder. I became kinder to myself, more compassionate to myself. And then it's so much easier to be truly compassionate to other people. And it's crazy that it's not always the same, right? I mean, it's the same, but it's not always like, what is compassion for you? And what do you need as a friend or whatever. And I feel that's so exciting and joyful, that we can keep seeing, who am I as a woman or a person or a human, and really let that expand beyond what we could ever have imagined, but in that kind of fresh for this moment. I don't know. So.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love what you're saying about the precepts. Actually, someone said to me, I don't know, 2 days ago, and they said, it's the precepts are all well and good, and I get it, but how do I do it? And I think what you're saying, well, I think there's two things. One is you have to find your own path with that, I think, right? I mean,
yeah.
I could, of course, we have the different practices within the system of Reiki. So, through meditation and that, but then people go, yeah, but how does that link with that, And you need to find that within yourself. And that's no one else can do that for you. Only you. And that's sort of what you're saying there, how you just discovered things within yourself bit by bit. I guess it's that gaining more clarity about yourself, who you are, and you, as you were saying, you know, your life, your labels, which you choose, which you don't choose. So just being far more conscious, I guess.
Yeah. But you're right. We all do. I think that's what's so great about this system of Reiki. You know, we are that. We are Reiki, and our expression of who we are is so different from each other. You know, we're all the same, but so our own expression, and we do have to find it on our own. And that's the wonderful journey and adventure that we're on. And to take up those practices, whichever one that really resonates, and just to take it into yourself. And I think taking that self-responsibility, you know, if we want healing, we, you know, really claiming it and taking responsibility for that for yourself is such a wonderful thing to do, right? To stand up and say, yes, yeah, I'm going to do it. You know, I'm going to do it for myself and for, you know, everybody around us, you know, just to benefit from that more gratitude, compassion, more presence is so wonderful. But yeah, then we can see then that everybody does have wisdom to share. There's plenty. No need to fight about anything. There's plenty for everybody, and how beautiful we get to share that together.
Yeah. And we need to show compassion for each other in that as well. And I think that's, you know, that's the lovely thing about the precepts, is that they do work together. So, right. Yeah. So, but I was also thinking about what you were just saying about feeling grateful, and, you know, feeling grateful for the good things and the bad things. And, you know, I think that can be incredibly difficult for people too, right? And yet what we know is that if we have a positive outlook, you know, as far as research goes, positive outlook actually equates with better health. It actually, how we think about things. So in this little world that we create, it's the world that we create. And whether we create a healthy world or an unhealthy world, it is our choice.
That's such an incredible thing to think about.
Yeah.
You know, that we can change our mind.
Yeah.
And therefore you can help change your life, right? That's so
and if
wonderful.
your mind changes, it can change also what's going on here. It, you know, it changes everything. So very powerful.
Yeah. And if, you know, people find something difficult, you know, how to live the precepts. Yeah, it's not easy, but we all do it in our own way. It takes its own time. Just keep practicing, because I feel like the more I practice, the more I can trust myself.
Yeah.
Trust myself. I trust the practices more. I'm not in a hurry about where it's all going or how to fix everything about myself. Thank goodness. Whew. But, you know, I can just, you know, practice. So
that's beautiful. One more thing before we go. I know you're a mum, and I would just like to know how you feel it's helped you as a mum.
Yeah. And we've talked about this sometimes, but yeah, I think my first Reiki treatment, because I started being a mom when I was 16, and my first Reiki treatment, I went home and I felt a complete difference in the way I was with my family. And I just felt like this overflowing love for my family. And I was like, this is it. This is the way that I want to live my life, is really being able to be with them, to be just being present. We don't realize how beautiful that is, because then our energy's there, our love and nurturing for yourself and for, what your family goes through, because being a mom, being a parent is one of the most beautiful things I've ever done. And also the most tragic and terrifying and like all of those things. And I've done it burnt out, and at the end of my rope. And also feeling really connected to myself and to the energy of compassion and gratitude and love, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, is so much easier when you have more peace yourself, because we can recover, we can get through those really hard times with our family, and for ourselves, in a way that's more natural, instead of holding on to it for my whole life. Thank goodness, right? We can recover and be again, in that peace. So I was super grateful for that, because I really wanted to be a good mom to my children so badly. And I feel like, of course I made mistakes and all that stuff, but I could forgive myself. I could ask for forgiveness, right? But super grateful.
I loved just thinking about what you're talking about being a mum. I think my favorite part of being a mum with the system of Reiki was actually being pregnant, just because I just thought I was so blessed to be able to sense this connection, feel something in a way that I never ever would have been able to understand or have moved into that space if I hadn't studied the system of Reiki. And so, being pregnant just I don't know, it felt really unique and wonderful and amazing, which of course being pregnant does, but it just gave it this whole other level of, as I said, understanding about me and the baby and connection. And I thought that was just totally mind-blowing, actually.
Oh my gosh. That sounds amazing. I found Reiki after I had my 2 kids, so.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But
darn.
That's incredible. You are so incredible.
Well, I'm grateful for that. And no, it really was a lovely, lovely thing. And just being a parent is an exciting, wonderful, amazing journey. And the system of Reiki certainly does support that, doesn't it? Being in the moment as much as
Yeah, and I think that you just I feel so close to my children. I just love them so much. But I also am less attached to them. They're their own people. I don't own them. They don't own me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which is good. Feels good.
Yeah. No, it sounds wonderful. Look, thank you so much, Maria. So beautiful to have you aboard. And thank you. I don't know what else to say. Such a joy.
You're great. Thanks for having me.
Well, love. Bye, Dale.
Bye.